Am I the bad guy for telling my daughter she was acting like an idiot? I take and bring my daughter, she is 17, back from school every day. A few days ago, I went to pick her up and she was sitting in front of the school while no one else was there. It was a very cool day and she was shivering. I asked her why she is alone and she said the school was closed 2 hours ago and everyone else went home. I was angry. I asked her why she didn't call me. And her only excuse was that I didn't think you would come. I told her she was acting like an idiot and that of course I will come. She called me an idiot and is refusing to talk to me. Yes, you're the bad guy. I was so angry. Why? This is not a reasonable reaction to your daughter waiting for you to pick her up. Confusion, concern, curiosity, even mild annoyance maybe, but so angry. That's deranged. Also a good indicator of why she thought writers wouldn't come. Missing reasons past for sure. There are missing reasons all over the post. Am I the bad guy for letting my son operate the self-checkout? I took my son with me to the grocery store today. He's 7. I am a big believer in learning by doing. I like to give my son as interactive a role in things as possible, and if he wants to do something himself, I always at least let him try, unless it's unsafe. When we go to the self-checkout, he told me he could do it by himself, so I let him. There are about 10 self-checkouts and one line for all the machines. So people don't line up behind individual machines. He was a lot slower than I would have been. But he managed to do it all with my supervision, even the produce. As we started to wheel away, a woman walked up and slammed her grocery basket on the counter. She said, "Thanks for doing that as slow as possible." I thought that was incredibly rude and uncalled for. Some people are slower than others. It is what it is. There were several other machines being used and freed up, so we can't have made that big an impact on her wait time. And also, based on the writer's response, that the store and line were quite busy. You should have let your son help with a few items, not all of them, or taking him a less busy time so you're not inconveniencing others. So, what are a long line waiting for the self-checkout machines? Learning by doing is great, but there is always a time and place for things. Self-checkouts, as we know, it probably won't even exist when the kid is older. It's not an essential life skill they have to master at 7. Let the kid do a few things and move it along, yeah. Wow, I said as we know it. Technologies will change in the next 5-10 years, so having 7-year-old know how to do everything as it currently is from beginning to end is not a life skill. 3-4 items to get a hand off is fine, but it's a checkout, not a toy for the kid to monopolize. Independence is a skill to itself. Maybe it will or won't, but teaching kids to figure new things out is valuable. Agree in the end and thought, let the kid do a few and then roll. Save letting the child do the whole things for a slow day. Exactly. Scanning the items isn't something he has to be learned or he'll be able to do in 12 years. It's about independence. And let it be real, once you've scanned one thing, you're pretty much an expert scanner. I do believe in doing is learning, but it's not that serious. Am I the bad guy for not paying my mom's surgery, even though I have money for it? I'm 35, female. I lost my father very early when I was 5-year-old. A few months after his death, my mother married a guy named John. John already had 2 teenage boys and he didn't want to raise me because he never wanted to be a girl father. My mother, like a good mother, abandoned me with my aunt and took my brother, 8 by the time, with her to live with her husband. John was a man with a lot of money, and he always spoiled my mother and brother, but he never bothered to give me even a Christmas present. My mother didn't do anything for me either. She came to visit me once a month and didn't even call me at Christmas or New Year. I always called, but many times she didn't answer. My aunt was a woman who couldn't have children. Because of that, she and my uncle raised me as I were their daughter, not missing anything for me. Even without much money, I accumulated some money from my job I had during high school. And I earned a small amount from my aunt, which was enough for me to pay my college. At the time, I graduated in computer science and went to work in a good company earning a great salary. But 8 years ago, I received a much better job offer in a large company, one well known for having great hardware products. In that time, I accumulated a lot of money and helped my uncle and aunt renovate their house. And I always sent them a nice amount, even if they told me to spend it on myself. I currently live alone in a great apartment with an estimated value in the millions. Recently, my mom called me on my Instagram. I post a lot of pictures of trips and fancy places I go. It's not too hard to find me. She asked me if we could meet to talk and reevaluate our relationship, to forget the past and move forward as mother and daughter. I have a soft heart, so I took it. I thought it would be an opportunity for us to talk and finally create the bond I always wanted. We made an appointment at the restaurant downtown and met there. When we got there, she hugged me, kissed me on the cheek, and said she missed me. We talked about my life, and when I asked how her was going, she started to talk about how bad she was. Apparently, she divorced John, and my brother didn't want to keep her as she is now poor. To make matters worse, she lives in a pension from John and has serious heart problems. After a while, she asked if I could pay for a surgery she needed. The surgery was quite expensive, quite a lot. I told her I wouldn't pay as I wouldn't feel good doing that. She yelled at me in the middle of the restaurant, saying I was a terrible daughter and that I was letting her die even though I could pay for her surgery. I left there very embarrassed. When I told my aunt, she said it was my decision, but remarked that I have enough money to pay and that I wouldn't affect me financially. I don't want to do it, because she never have been a mom for me. But I need to ask, am I the bad guy? And also, Edith, sorry, English is not my first language, so maybe I have misspoken something. You're not bad guy. She abandoned you. You don't owe her a thing. The fact she abandoned one of her children demonstrates she has no heart. You're better off without her. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Her mom would have asked for the money directly, rather than having writers pay to hospital bills. This is a shakedown, pure and simple. Am I the bad guy for forcing my son to use a bidet and threatening to talk to his friends or take him to the doctor about his underwear? For some reason, my 14-year-old son cannot wipe properly. This was never a concern to me as his mom did the laundry. Unfortunately, she's sick right now, so I have taken over the household duties that she used to handle. My son is still responsible for his, and I do mine as well as yours. First day I did laundry, I gagged and almost puked from his underwear. If he were 3 or not fully potty trained, I might understand how they end up like this. But he's a healthy young man. He should not be leaving his butt this unwiped. I talked to him about that, and he said he will make an effort to do a better job. Nope, No change in the situation. So I went to the hardware store and installed a one bidet in the bathroom he used. We already have one in ours. So I told him that he has a choice of either using the bidet or washing his own underwear. He doesn't know how to use the washing machine and he refuses to do them by hand. He started going commando, which just meant the problem was his jeans now. So I said that we might need to take him to the doctor to see what is wrong with him. It is physical and physiological. I also said that the next time his friends were over, I was going to ask them if they left their underwear in the same condition. I will never actually embarrass him like that. He said I was being an idiot and he called his mom to tell her what I was doing. She said that he was just like that and I could deal with it until she was better. I don't think that's a great plan. If this kid never learns to wipe his butt, he will be bereft of a sexual partner without a poop fetish. I'm not kink shaming him if that's his thing. He has started using the bidet, but he said that it is gross and weird. I said it was grosser and weirder for a 14-year-old to crap his pants every day. We are both stressed about his mom, but this situation isn't because of her. I asked her. You're not the bad guy. 14 is a little late in life to be learning how to clean your butt after using the toilet. Your wife is doing him no favors by allowing and coddling this behavior. That's what I think too. Straight up, this is a biohazard and it is unacceptable. I will frame in that way. To both your wife and your son, like literally, there can be health complications from this. You're a higher risk for the UTIs and you can spread bacteria. Even after she gets better, I will continue to do laundry to make sure she's not just letting it go. I will have whatever conversation you need to have to let her know that this is a hill to die on for you. That you're concerned as a parent and that you and your son needed her support on this to do what is best for him. Also, by the way, studies have shown the washing machine, it does not wash away all facial things. So gross, yes. I will be having a serious conversation with my wife about why this has been allowed to continue and what makes her think it is okay that his underwear consistently looks like this. It is literally your job as parents to teach your children how to properly care for themselves and basic hygiene. You can talk about how friends and girls or boys will be grossed out, sure. But I think we are beyond that. At this point, he's contaminating your damn furniture and putting his own health on risk. Tell your son straight. This is not like cleaning your room or taking out the trash. This is not a chore. This is a non-negotiable. This is a non-negotiable must to do for your health. And that you're sorry you and his mom were not atop of his sooner. Admit that it was an error on your part that it even got to this point. Because it was, but it cannot continue. I am a mentioned reporter, and if I was made aware something like this was happening, I will be calling to arrange a wellness check and some education for this family. Refusing to clean up or regressing in terms of hygiene can be an indicator of sexual abuse. When discussing this with him, ask him if there is a reason for having so much trouble with this. Is anyone making him feel uncomfortable? Is anyone approaching him or touching him? Who shouldn't be? A therapist is probably indicated, and doctor, yes, doctor. If nothing comes to light, go into the bathroom and show him how to wipe, how to rinse, how to check he's clean, how to clean in the shower. Tell him that if his underwear or clothes continues to look like this, that you will begin checking to make sure he has wiped every time. Find the least invasive way to do sniff test, I don't know. Tell him this is not a punishment and it is not to belittle him, and you don't like it any more than he does. But this is your responsibility as a parent to make sure that he's healthy and hygienic. And if he is literally incapable of wiping appropriately, that you need to know because you actually need to take him to the doctor. Agreed. I will report too because outwardly it presents as neglect and I am mandated to report suspicion of neglect. Disagree on asking why his wife let this continue. He, as a father, has let this continue too. He has not even noticed until now. So, let's not blame the wife for what both parents failed to address.